What's going on, man? It's your brother K-Rino, and I'm out here with y'all on this what's the day? Tuesday. This Tuesday night. I don't plan on being on here a long time. I don't plan on being here a long time. Um, I don't feel right, but I'm good. But we're gonna talk about something real quick, man, because I think this is very important. You know, I need black folks to hear this and see this so we can get some understanding on how we should be thinking and moving while we are in this society, while we are in this um, belly of the beast that we call the United States of America. Um, what I would like for y'all to do, as usual, hit the like button uh, uh, as you come into the room. I don't plan on being too animated tonight. I'm just laying low tonight for reasons unknown, only to me. But if you see the title, what I want y'all to understand is that we have this thing in our hearts where we feel like once we connect on to something or someone, once we connect on to something or someone, or something or someone connects and attaches itself to us, and we get comfortable in that, we feel as though if a day comes where that something or someone dumps us, cuts us loose, then we feel like, well, it's the end of the world. And this particular topic is really speaking in terms of how we as a people have kind of got caught up in this dependency, a false dependency for anything that is America, anything that's corporate America, anything that represents American dollars, American revenue, American money streams, things that have possibly provided us with a comfortable lifestyle, um, wealth and riches to a high degree in some cases. So um, I want to talk about how hopefully we can break our minds out of that false dependency. When you look at everything that the United States is, any entity that exists under this umbrella that we live in here in America, everything, somebody else is responsible for building it up and establishing it. And when you look at black people in this country, we have literally built this country for free. So if you go all the way back from the times of slavery all the way up to the um, Emancipation Proclamation, right? When we were so-called emancipated or so-called freed, however you want to word it. And even beyond that, we have contributed to the establishment and the wealth and the power of this nation, right? So when you take it all the way up to the modern day, the present day, and now you see, based on the fights and the struggles of a lot of black people that came before us, and the people that lost their lives, and the people that fought and blood and bled and suffered to give us the opportunities or give us the movement that we have now. Now we have this false sense of feeling like, okay, we're equal now. We're free now. We're accepted now because I can make $10 million. I can make 200 million. I can make a billion. I can become a billionaire as a black person. So I'm accepted now. I'm just like them. I'm viewed as an equal by them. No, you're not. So what happens is we, in some cases, forget that the millions and millions and millions and hundreds of millions and billions that you end up having, you only got it because they allowed you to get there for whatever reason. So once an individual starts to go against their system and go against their ways and go against their rules, or even rules that may have been established for you prior to them letting you get in that position, and you make the mistake of speaking some truth about them, then the first thing they start to do is they start to strip away, take away all of the things that they gave you, which backs up my point to say that you only got there because they allowed you to get there. So you start hearing about, we'll say, well, this company, they've dumped Kanye West. This company has dumped this athlete. This company has disassociated themselves with this person, with this entertainer. This person said the wrong thing, so now we have stripped them of their endorsements. Just proving all along that everything you have, they gave it to you. So when they give it to you, they have the power to remove it. So if you've ever seen a situation where you have somebody who was living with somebody else, they may have been in a relationship or something, or even a child, sometimes you have parents that do this to children, right? You got a parent that is his house, and the child is living in the house, and the child starts bucking the parents, starts disobeying and getting out of line or whatever. And if the child starts to swell up a little bit and start talking a little reckless to the parent about rights, well, I'm tired of you coming in my room. Mama, quit coming in my room. This is only your room because I'm allowing you to declare it and claim it as being your room. But this is really still mama and daddy's room because they pay the bills at that place. So you have gotten to a point where you have forgotten that you don't pay no bills. So you say, well, you know what? I'm gonna just leave then. I'm gonna just leave. Then the parent might say, okay, you can leave. But the tennis shoes you got on, I paid for them. Hold on, where you going with that whatever it is? I don't want to say radio, make myself sound old school. Where you going with this? Where you going with that? I bought that. Oh, you packing up your PlayStation? No, set that PlayStation right down because I paid for that. I bought that for you. So I'm gonna take everything. You can go, but we're gonna take everything from you. Now it's a different situation with a parent and a child in terms of, but I'm just speaking about the principle, because sometimes if the child is out of line, okay, they may do that. But in this particular case, I'm talking about an awakening happening with an entertainer, athlete, a rapper, singer, actor, and they decide, you know what, I'm tired of how they handling us. And I got a voice, I got a platform, I got people who listen to me. I'm gonna speak out on that. And then they're gonna say, oh, okay. He's starting to feel himself. This N-word starting to feel itself. We know what to do. That comment you made was very disrespectful to our culture. It's very disrespectful. It's very anti-Semitic. It's okay. We're gonna show you. We're gonna take away the things we've given to you. So now those endorsements are gone. Now those business opportunities are gone. Now those relationships are gone because they were never yours to begin with. So this is what we got to understand as we go into the topic, because the topic is called the blessing of being dumped. So let's take it back down to a personal situation, a person-to-person type of scenario, right? And you're in a relationship, but it's a bad relationship. Person treating you like trash. They treating you like dirt. No respect for you. Just dogging you out, beating on you, misusing you, stealing your money, all doing all manner of things to you, right? And then one day, like I say, you stand up for yourself and they decide, okay, well, you want to act like that? I'm going to just leave you alone. It's over. And you're like, no, 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 I'm sorry. No, no. And they're like, no, it's over. Get out. So when you are put out, when they cast you out, you feel it, you feeling the pain a little bit, but it also puts you in a mind state or puts you in a situation where you now have to fend for yourself. You have to do for yourself because this person is no longer your safety net. So as time starts to pass on, you struggled a little bit in the beginning, but you got a job and you scrounged your way up to get a little apartment somewhere. You made your way. You dug your way out of that hole, and you dug your and even was that you was enjoying with that other person. But guess what you got now? You have freedom. You have independence. You have power and control. Hey, listen, y'all. Listen. This one of those topics. So if my connection, if you lose the connection, if it seems like I got cut off, stay on. Don't log off. Stay on, because they, like it just seems like I could be a conspiracy, but it seems like every time I kind of go into these type of topics, I start having connection issues. So that's what happens. So if we lose each other for a second, just wait till it comes back. Just wait, because that's what just happened a minute ago. But when you start to break free of that person and you start to dig your way out of that hole, you start to feel your own power. You say, man, well, I'm paying my own bills, but guess what? Now I can come and go as I please without having somebody chewing my ear off. Now I can move throughout the house like I want to because it's mine. I pay for it. If I want to kick my feet back and put my feet on the coffee table, I can now because it's my coffee table. Might not be the best coffee table at the time, may not be the best couch, but it's yours now. You can cook what you want to cook. Thing. And I see that Denise White, yes, she say I'm chopping up. Listen, like I say, a lot of times, when I'm talking about certain subjects, coincidentally, magically, my connection starts tripping. So just when you see that happening, just hang on until it comes back, So what the deal is, you start to feel that independence. Like, man, I could have been doing this all along. That's the thought process. Like, I could have been doing this all along. I wasted all this time, all these years with this person because I felt like I needed that person, and I felt like I couldn't do it without them. I couldn't make it without this person. Now I'm seeing that I am good enough, that I am smart enough wise enough, and strong enough to make it on my own. And that small example is really reflective of us in a microcosm as a whole, right? Because once we get an endorsement deal, once we sign a record contract, once we sign an endorsement deal with Adidas, Nike, Coca-Cola, McDonald's, whoever, and you're getting paid millions and millions of dollars because they are benefiting off of your greatness, because you have the marketability to sell their product to the masses because of your greatness, because the people love you. See, the people loved you before this corporation came to you and offered you an endorsement deal. That's why they came to you, because wow, this guy's really popular, this guy's really big, he sells a lot of records, boy, he can really run that football, he can really shoot that basketball, he can really sing, he can really dance. The people love him. So if we make him the face of our company, that will make more money, that will bring in more money for us. That's the thought process. But we don't think about our own value like, well, I don't really need them, I can create my own product, finance it myself, or maybe get other investors that are not connected to that entity or those entities, and we can do this thing ourselves. Because the first time you get out of line with them, they dump you. They start taking their stuff back. And you stressed out and worried now because you done bought this big house and mansion, and you got to maintain this particular lifestyle that you've created for yourself because you had the bread. But they can cut that water off anytime they want to. Just like the reality, just like the literal water, the literal electricity, the literal gas. If the people start rising up too hard, they can cut the electricity off. They can cut the water off. They can cut the gas off. They can remove the things that are necessary for us to function and to make us uncomfortable and create a life inconvenience for us, right? So when they do that to you, if you are smart and wise enough or locked in enough, you will say, well, wait a minute, I'm the value. The value is in me. They came to me in the first place because they saw the value in me. Whether they didn't like you, this is all business. So I still got my value. To those who understand and agree with whatever it is I did to be the right thing. Now, if you did something terrible, okay, then that's a different kind of conversation. You went out and killed 5 people for no reason and did something atrocious to somebody, and okay, yeah. Or even if it wasn't on that level, you just said something that's like, come on, man. But when you standing and speaking on the truth and you exposing the evil that they do, and again, like I said another time, when they realize the power influence that you had, they're like, oh man, if this dude start talking, if this dude start telling truth, he gonna blow the roof off of what we got going on. We gotta drop it. But after you've made hundreds and thousands to millions and millions of dollars, why do you think you still need them? Why not take the devil's money, the money that the devil is giving you, why not take it and use it to free yourself and to free other people. Why not do that? You got millions and millions of dollars. Anything that represents manufacturing, you can do it. Anything that represents distribution, you can do it. Anything that represents marketing, you can do it. Anything that represents promotion, you can do it because you have the resources to do it. You need physical man and woman power, employees, you need workers and people. You can do it. You have the ability to do it. But we fall in love with their names. Fall in love with the name brands and the power of their corporations. Ooh, man, that's Walmart. Sam Walton. Sam Walton was a bad man. Yeah, he was a bad man. Not like you saying, ooh, man. Nike, man. Adidas, wow. These are giants in our eyes. Giants, they wouldn't be giants if it wasn't for them standing on the backs of the real giants, which is you and us. That's what makes them giants. All of the people that Nike endorse, all of the athletes that they endorse, what percentage of those athletes are black? What percentage of the athletes that Nike endorses are black athletes? Nike got some of the biggest names in sports. So if those brothers decide and those sisters decide, we ain't fooling with Nike no more. We're gonna build our own brand, or we're gonna get behind another brother's brand or sister's brand who started her own thing. She might name it whatever gear. I got this whatever gear. We got hoodies, we got tennis shoes, we got whatever gear. And if everybody shifted their focus to back him or her, they just as big as Nike now. But we always gravitate towards the big, mighty machine. And the machine shows us over and over again that the second you buck, they will dump you. But just like the bad relationship, if you decide to say, well, you know what, man, okay, that's cool. You dump me. I'm going to get on my grind. I'm going to start my own thing. It's going to be a little hard, a little tough. It's going to be a learning curve that has to take place. But once you get into it, it feels good to not have someone be able to dictate to you what you do, what you say, and how you move. That's been the difference between rappers who are independent compared to rappers who are signed to major labels. Always been the difference. The independent rapper has always been able to move with a little more, his chest is stuck out a little bit more. He got a little more bravado about himself because he doing it himself. He paying for it. Same thing. Production, didn't no label pay for the studio. He paid for it. Manufacturing, nope, didn't no label pay for his physical units to get pressed up. He did it. Distribution, nope, nobody paid for that. He created the channels and went and did all the groundwork to do that. And more importantly, creative control. Ain't nobody telling him what to say or what, more importantly, just as important as somebody telling you what to say. Just as important as that, or more, I tell you what not to say. See? But sometimes what you don't say Sometimes what is negated, what's left out, is the most important thing. So a person can tell a lie. Okay, the lie is bad, but it may be some element of the truth that that person had that they didn't say that could have shut the whole thing down. So when you're independent, you don't have to turn your album in to nobody and hope that they accept. Well, yeah, I'm finished with the album. Here it is. You got to sit around and wait on a phone call for somebody to tell you, okay, yeah, this is good. We can put this out. Or somebody tell you, nah, number 4, number 6, and number 2, those got to go. It's a couple of lines in number 8 that you need to change. Da, 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 da. No. When you reach that point, that kind of freedom, especially if you never had it, if that's all you ever known, then you know I ain't going back to it. But when you reach the point where you taste that freedom and you never want to relinquish, never give that up. How many of y'all ever lived with a bad roommate? You and your partner, you and your friend, girls, you and your little bestie, y'all decided, hey, look, you know what? We're going to get an apartment together. It might be you and 2 others. Y'all get a crib together. And it's just the worst thing ever. It's a disaster. You found out you couldn't live with this person. You found out this person was crazy. This person, they going in your stuff. They stealing from you. They doing all. You find out all, and you suffer through that. I don't want to break my lease, man. Golly, I'm going to stick it on out. I got another year. I got to. When you finally get away, you was worried. You didn't know the rent by yourself because you had 2 other people helping you out. But when you finally get away, sometimes you go, you know what? Man, this is cool. And in your mind, the first thought that comes in your mind, I'll never, ever go back to that kind of situation again. That will be the thought process if you ever jump off the porch and stop being scared to do for yourself, to go and do for yourself. They take away endorsements and they dump you and kick you off labels and all that. They do that as a punishment to you. Make no mistake about it. There are some financial aspects of it as well, meaning that if certain aspects, certain percentages of the public, of the masses, start to complain that this company has an affiliation with this particular person who they view to be anti-Semitic, racist, sexist, homophobic, whatever label they put on you, if they come out and you get backlash, then that represents their bottom line. So they're like, okay, hold on, this dude messing with our money. That is a part of it. But sometimes it's more so to bring you down to size. Let me teach this N-word his place. Let me show her place. That you don't buck us. You don't stick your chest out to us. So we know you. We made you. We built you up. We gave you everything you had. Let's see how you respond when we take that from you. Because a lot of cases, when they finally do take it, or even threaten to take it, unfortunately, you see a lot of Black people kind of cower down. And as we said on this channel many times, we go on the apology tour. They send us on the apology tour, where you got to go on every major outlet. You have to go to classes to be educated on their culture. So what about my culture? The truth I'm speaking is a reflection of my culture and what I discovered that had been hidden from me, what I discovered that I was lied to about, what I discovered that now I know the truth of, and I can tell and teach my people about it. What about me? That don't mean nothing. I don't care about you. But when they dump you, that's a blessing. Whoo! I'm free. I'm free. See, history has taught us that that principle has always been in place. Anytime, like I say, the history of Black people in this country has always been based around us fighting against oppression and societal rejection, not being accepted as equal members in a society, right? Even though, again, we built the country, right? Yeah, you built the country, but that's what you're supposed to do because you was our slave. You were our property. Yep, you did what you were supposed to do, but that don't give you no rights. So history has shown that we've always tried to fight for acceptance, the right ways and the wrong ways, right? So when we get to the point, when we've reached points throughout history where they just made it abundantly clear that we are not going to accept you, no matter what you do, you are worthless to us. We're not going to accept you. We are going to black code you. We're going to redline you. We're going to Jim Crow you. We're going to sharecrop you. Anything that is a mechanism to hold us down, right? In those moments, it's always been a sector of us that said, okay, you know what? We just got to do it ourselves. We just got to do it ourselves. So all throughout America, in decades and decades past, you would see these little Black towns popping up. You would see these little Black cities and parts of the country popping up. And you would see Black businesses and independent Black people starting to really make a way. So the most popular, most known one would be Tulsa, Black Wall Street in the early 20s. But that wasn't the only one. So, like they say, necessity is the mother of invention. Necessity is also the mother of independence, because another word for need. So, had another connection drop, y'all. For us, bear with me, y'all, bear with me. The need for us to do it on our own caused us to do it on our own. Yep, they're not gonna give us no job. They're not gonna do this. They're not gonna do that. They said that they would give us 40 acres and a mule. We didn't. We never got that. You know, we didn't change any of these. They made the laws worse. They created circumstances to make things worse. So let's just do it ourselves. And we was doing it ourselves. In a lot of cases, those towns were destroyed because the mind of an abuser always says, yeah, I don't like you. I hate you. I don't want you. Then when you leave, they still say, oh, you left? I'm going to come wherever you are and still try to destroy you. Not good for them. They left. They finally broke free and then they got it. No, that's not the mindset. See, the mindset is, let's go destroy what they did. Look at them over there. They think they doing something over there. Look at them. They got a little grocery store over there. They think they doing something. Has no effect on them anymore. We not asking y'all for nothing no more. Come right over there and try to destroy it or destroy it. See, that's the mindset. This is a satanic mindset, right? So Fast forward, a lot of that going on in terms of us doing for self and getting down for our own crown. But a movement came about that caused us to feel like we needed to be included in what they had going on. And basically, it caused us to want to force inclusion, integration. We want to force inclusion. Y'all don't want us at y'all schools, but we're going to force our way to send our children to school with y'all children. Y'all don't want us to eat at y'all restaurants. We're going to force our way. We're going to sit in the restaurant. It's going to be 25, 30 of us just sitting at the counter, and y'all splashing coffee and stuff on us, and we're going to still sit there until you take our order. We're going to force acceptance. You can't force somebody to accept you. Now, once they pass laws that said, okay, well, you know what, there's the Civil Rights Act, and there's no longer segregated society, even though it still is. Not on paper, but it still is. So now you can go where they go. Now you can eat in their restaurants. Now your children can attend school with them. But that's still not acceptance, because they still don't want you there. They just had to follow the law. And those at the top, we be like, shh. All you gotta do is listen to people like, go and study people like Lyndon B. Johnson. They didn't want that. So we cheering it on as a victory. Yeah, we can do it. We can go where they go now. And slowly but surely, when it got to that point, everything that we had, everything that we built out of the necessity of the rejection that came out of the rejection, it slowly started to fade away. We slowly started to lose our own businesses, our own independence, because now we could get back up close next to massa and get mistreated some more. We squandered off, in some cases, the blessing of getting dumped. We didn't appreciate it. We didn't see it for what it was supposed to be. We didn't see it. And it's not going to be easy, because it's not supposed to be easy. Not supposed to be easy. We didn't understand. What is the history of the American white man in this country? Where did they come from? Originally, right? What I would say, where did they come from? Why they over? What made them come over here? Many of them, they were from England, right? They were from England. So they got the hell out of England to establish their own independence, because they had a problem with how things were going on over there. So they came over here and established, and it wasn't easy. They had to do a whole lot of struggling and scuffling. They had to do a whole lot of killing and raping and stealing and lying and murdering. But they established their own nation, right? Or they had to go still get some Negroes to come, some black people to come over here and build it up for free. But the point is the hypocrisy of it, to not even understand and respect another people who've done nothing to you. They just wanted equal treatment. So our modern athletes and entertainers, and we have this thing where we have this pure dependence on that corporate America, that money, that so-called prestige and position, and but it's no power behind it. For us, they are the power behind whatever it is we have. But our unity among each other is the true power, because that power shut down their businesses instantly just by not spending with them. And we've had this conversation 8,265 billion trillion times. But our love for the nothing, for that, my quotes back, our love for the nothing that they give us causes us to continue to chase that nothing. We want to chase that nothing. So getting dumped is an opportunity to establish your own freedom, to establish your own wealth and power. It's an opportunity to free yourself from under their foot. But we've been conditioned so strong that a lot of times it's not even about them having their foot on us. In some cases, they like, hey, go on and go. There are some of them that like, hey, man, go on and go. Cool. But we pick their foot up and stick it back on our head. Like, no, 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 no. Keep that foot right there. We don't try to get out. Because we ain't recognizing our power. If we have an issue with an owner in the NBA because he's racist, because he's disrespectful to his employees, and okay, the dominant names in the National Basketball Association are black athletes. So LeBron James, Steph Curry, Kevin Durant, Ja Morant, James Harden, Zion, Kyrie Irving, anybody, all of those top names, if they decide tomorrow, man, we ain't playing the NBA no more, they could shut the league down. The league would go dry overnight. The league would be dry. And they say, look, we're going to get with some more black millionaires and billionaires, and we're going to start this thing over and try to establish our own. The fan base will shift and follow those star athletes. And the nerve of them. Yeah, cool. Y'all buy still. But we don't use our power the way we should use it. We can shut the whole league down. You got to worry about no one owner. We arguing and complaining about ain't no black coaches in the NFL. And we demand that they start giving opportunity. So they come out with this thing called the Rooney Rule, where the Rooney Rule basically says that by the letter of the rule, teams have to at least interview a black coaching candidate. You have to at least let him go through the interviewing process. They're like, okay, cool. We'll bring him in. That's what the brother Brian Flores was going through with his fight. But I'm just of the belief that at some point, it shouldn't be a fight no more. At some point, we got to recognize this thing for what it is and quit wasting our time and go ahead and separate and build our own. As hard as it might be. And it might not be hard as we might think it is. We are the commodity. This ain't even the 10th time that I've said what I'm about to say. See? You get on a record label. Oh man, I'm about to get a deal. These cats who sign you ain't got a talent. They can't write one. They have no talent. Swindle us. And in this day and age, a lot of times you've already built your name up through social media some kind of way. So it's like, you don't need them. But they'll dump you off the social media platform. That's why a network has to be created that will protect our great brothers and sisters out here and protect us too. A network got to be somehow, some kind of network has to be formulated to where it's like, look, when they come for this brother or this sister, when they cancel him, when they start dumping him and taking his endorsements out, he got to have a safety net. No matter how much money he got, because the safety net may not always represent financial safety net. It may just be a support system or a system of information and advice on how to move after this has happened to you. But we can't be in that mindset that I can't be successful unless this corporation backs me. So people looking at Kanye and, well, Adidas dumped him. Oh, this company dumped him. Oh, this company they broken ties with him. Okay, well, last I checked, they are saying that his net worth is anywhere between $2 and $6 billion. I don't know the exact number. I don't know what his exact net worth is. I've seen different reports. I've seen some people say that, and I've read as high as $6 billion. It don't matter, because anything associated with your net worth that has a B in it, now you have the ability to be free. You have the ability to be free if your net worth got a B on it. You don't take a B, but I'm just saying a B is like really no excuse. So Nike dumped you. This company dumped you. These people broke ties with you. Bro, you have an opportunity now. And I'm just using his name because he's the latest. He's not the first, he's not the last. But it's all about having that understanding that, okay, you know what, this is an opportunity. Put yourself in a position where you can only dump yourself. I know platinum and gold. I know I'm chopping up. Y'all just bear with me, man. Bear with me. Hang in the best you can, because for some reason, I don't say for some reason, this always happens. So normally I would just say, well, you know, I guess it just happened. But this always happens when I go to this type of topic. I don't know. So Miles says, bro, look at what they're doing to Farrakhan. Well, see, Farrakhan is the poster person for attempts by America to shut him down, silence him. He's the poster person. He's the model. He's the signature individual for that type of work, because he is the preeminent truth speaker on the planet. So We used to seeing them try to pull this on the minister, but see, I didn't mention the minister because I'm not mentioning individuals who already have this understanding, who taught this understanding to us. The minister ain't gonna cry because these platforms kick him off, because he knows that belongs to them. They do whatever they want to do. And more importantly, he knows that he's backed by God. So when you are in a pocket with God, when you like this with God, yeah, God, this my buddy, and you are tuned in to God, in this example to all of us, every artist, every whoever, every person, even somebody you working on a job and you scared to buck. See, when you tuned in to God, when you locked in with God, you see and you recognize how little the big man really is. So who's the big man? Oh, the big man is the government. Boy, the government they can destroy you, man. Who's the big man? Oh, the big man is the billionaire owners who own this team I play for now that I'm scared to speak out on when a black person gets killed by the police. Who's the big man? Oh, the big man is this record label. Because they pay me, they give me advances, they set up my tour, and yeah, they steal all your money. But when you locked in with the creator like that, the big man is little to you. Because the God don't want you fearing nobody but him. So not only will a person who's locked in with the creator, not only will they be like, okay, well, that's cool, you kick me off, we're gonna keep on moving the way we move. Not only will they say that, they gonna talk cash money trash on the way out the door. You ever seen somebody get fired off a job and they don't care no more? They cuss everybody out on the way out. They cuss out the supervisor, the manager, the CEO if he there that day, all the co-workers they didn't like. They gonna slap something off the desk. They don't care no more. They don't have that fear, because what overrides that fear is something in you that's not going to allow you to let yourself be disrespected. That's when the fear goes away. Like, hold on, man, wait a minute, bro. Now y'all ain't finna disrespect me now. How many times have somebody on here said that? If you ever had to stop somebody and say, hold on, man, hold on. Now, man, I come here, I do my job, man. I don't bother nobody. That's how it starts. I don't bother nobody, man. I come here, I do my job. I show up on time every day, man. I do my work. I don't bother nobody. But y'all ain't gonna disrespect me. Y'all ain't gonna mistreat me. Then in the end, if it goes bad, you worry about the other stuff later on. Hey, yeah, I quit my job today. What we gonna do? I don't know. But I wasn't about to let them people disrespect me. That's how the conversation goes. Then you have the scared people around you. You see, you shouldn't have did that. See, I mean, it's just certain things that don't happen on the job. You gotta know when you got to just let that go. Look, I know what to let go. The average person has common sense. If you're just not a loose cannon, you're just not crazy, and the average person knows what to let go. But the average person also like, hold on, man, yeah, I couldn't let that go. Because if I let that go, then that's gonna grow. into something else, because people will take a mile when you give them an inch. That's why the apologetic entertainers, in my opinion, they lose a part of themselves when they punk out like that. Because now what happens is, boss man go, see, told you. He talking to all his cohorts. Do is act like we was gonna take his money. Shut him down. Now look how he acted. He apologizing all over the country. Now look at him. And regardless of what you say, when you in your private quarters, when you among yourself, you are any self-respecting person that's gonna be like, man, I went out. Bro, I have had times where I didn't think quick on my feet in a certain moment. And I didn't say what needed to be said because I didn't think quick on my feet enough. And I got home and was like, man, boy, oh my gosh. It eats at you. You're like, boy, I should have. Man, I didn't say it. Man. See? So you lose a part of yourself when you do that. Because they respect you, not that we are clamoring for their respect, but we demanding respect just because of who we are as individuals. Like, I have to command a respect from any person just because that's what you do, but also you have to command respect to prevent yourself from being disrespected. See, the establishment of respect out the gate is a preventative measure. See? So you see a police officer doing security, or you see anybody doing security at a particular place, if you're thinking about robbing that place, you got to kind of rethink your strategy now. You're like, hold on, this dude got a gun. You know what? I ain't going to do it. That gun served as a preventative measure to halt you possibly from going overboard. Now, if somebody done cased the place and like, man, yeah, man, do they got security? Yeah, they got security, but he don't even carry no gun. That fool got a flashlight. Oh, yeah? Okay, all you got to do, man, you just walk up and just steal off on him. Okay. Prevention. Prevention. So, what another part of the blessing of being dumped is that when it comes, it forces us to come together. Just like back in the days when we talked about Black Wall Street and the black codes and all the things I mentioned, it's going to force you to have to come together and force us, I should say, because you won't have no other choice. They have blocked all the roads to get to them. Now, ain't roads to get to them. Nope. All the doors are closed. So now we have to look at each other and say, man, what you got? And I got a little something. Well, I can put a little something with it, man. I can put a little something with it too. And we can build something off of the little somethings that we got. And we can stand with any brother or sister who's on those levels who gets cut off. Okay, well, y'all want to, regardless of what you feel about the man or whatever the case, okay, you want to cut him off, Adidas? You want to cut him off Adidas? You want to cut him off Nike? You want to cut him off this company, that company? Okay, we're going to cut you off. So now you're cutting off one of us. You dumping and shutting down one of us. Now millions of us are going to cut you off and dump you. Now they come to try to now they may want to rethink it, but we got to get to the point where it don't matter if they rethink it. me see what y'all talking about, man, because I told y'all I wasn't going to hold y'all. We're going to start with my brother, Jay Muhammad. Greetings. All energy ain't good for you. If the divine God allowed that person to leave you, then see it as a blessing, and it opens up room for the right person to enter your life. Ashe. And that's on a personal relationship level. Yeah. And we spoke about that earlier. That's an example. See? But what we really talking about tonight is when this devil dump you. When this devil cuts you loose and you think it's the end of your world, and now you are forced to have to do something for yourself. You got to do it for yourself. See what else y'all talking about in here. Some people have asked me if I was an uncle time. I was basically just like, look at my pupils. Do I look like an undercover? The OG Murder One is in the building, y'all. Murder says you have to be a good boy in the man's world. Yep, you got to be a good boy. See, if you're a good boy, then guess what you get? You get to hold your head down and let him do this to you. Good boy, good job. Sit, Ubu, sit. Good dog. And as long as you're a good boy, you'll hang for a while. But see, what you don't realize is that they'll cut off one. They'll cut you off. See? But they threaten us with the loss because we know, or they know that our fear and our love is their money. We are in love with their money. Let me go back up a little ways. Joseph said, that's right. It's up. Those who go to the truth will set you free. The truth is bitter. It's far from being sweet. Well, the truth can give the appearance of being bitter. The truth is like medicine, man. It gives the appearance of being something that's bitter, but it's really good for you. It's really gonna make you better. Our economic power is so great that if we was to ever unify and come together, and we can create a cultural army the same way that other races of people in other cultures, they got a cultural army. In other words, as soon as somebody feels attacked within their culture, their cultural army mobilizes and they line up. And it's usually unjustified. It's like they just have the power to do it. Now they like, okay, you know what, we can shut this guy down, even though what he's saying is the truth. We don't want him telling that truth. Shut this Negro down. What is the end game? Will the people overtake their power? Will we fall as a people? Well, we already have fallen as a people. We had some help, but we already have fallen as a people. The question is, like you said, will the people overtake their power? Will we rise as a people? Would we overtake their power? And the answer is yeah. And you know, the scripture back it up because it talks about the first being last and the last being made first. It talks about the stone that the builder rejected, turning into the headstone, right? It talks about the rejected and the despised people. So, yeah, it's going to change around. It also talks about the dry bones in the valley. So it's going to change around. But what we would like to see, what we hope happen for all of us foolish people, me included, we hope that we can do it voluntarily before it gets to a point where it's so extreme that the forcing of it causes us too much pain. But as long as they throwing us these bones, hey man, hey, and it clouds our judgment to make us think like, well, man, he all right. He gave me $1 million a sign. Oh, they all right. They just gave him $100 million contract. Oh, they all right. No, they ain't all right. And I ain't saying turn down the money. I ain't saying that either. I'm saying use the money as a springboard to free yourself and to help free your people. Don't just sit on the money like, okay, we just I'm all in bed with them now. No, start thinking now for the whole, like, okay, you know what? I got 80 million now. I can do a lot for my people now. Y'all hit that like button, man, if you haven't already. Wonder if we can get to 100 likes. Righteous Whipping Stick says, tough to get the voice needed and then look out. Let's see what y'all talking about, man. Dr. Knocker up in this thing. And see, we got this thing where we want freedom, where we expect, we want it to, but we expect freedom to be easy. We expect independence to come without some kind of a cost. No nation became independent and free, and it was a cakewalk. It's gonna be some trials, man. We don't want to go through anything. We have to understand that the only thing they care about as it relates to Black people is us entertaining them and making them money. That's it. We make them laugh. We get them excited when we dunk a basketball, run a football, and we generate money for them. That's your only purpose. That's all they care about. They don't care about your culture, because if they cared about your culture, if they cared about the future of us as a people, then they would not produce and allow us to put out records. They wouldn't put out records that let us call each other all kind of names and talk about killing and shooting and murdering each other. But the second we tell the truth about somebody in the Jewish community, oh my gosh, it's the worst thing ever. See? Don't care about you. You can kill as many niggas as you want to. You can pimp as many hoes as you want to. The more the merrier. Don't keep pimping hoes. Keep shooting up the block. You can sell as much dope as you want to on these records and in real life. You can abuse and use as much, you can pop as many pills You can snort as much cocaine as your nose tissue will sustain. But mess around and start dropping some truth that takes the focus off of that and shifts the focus over on what they doing. Or the very thing I just said, put that in a rap and then turn it in to them. Yeah, this is a new song I got. Got a song called How Come It's Okay? Should I make that song, y'all? Should I make a song called How Come It's Okay? What is that about? How come it's okay for us to talk about killing each other and pimping each other and all that, but I can't talk about y'all? How come it's okay for me to sell dope to my own people, but I can't tell the truth about y'all? How come it's okay? Explain that. Okay, if y'all want me to do that, okay. Now, if I don't forget, I'll write it down. How come it's okay? You know why it's okay? Because they're going to defend and protect their culture at all costs. And they don't care about us killing us, because they have killed two birds with one stone by us killing us and us talking about killing each other. The two birds is we actually start doing it and it's the money. So just imagine those conversations. It's like, wow, who would have ever thought that we could shape this thing in such a way that we can get these Negroes to literally sing and rap about killing each other and destroying each other, and at the same time make money off of it. See, if we understood, I like to believe that the average person who catches on to a trick will no longer allow themselves to be tricked. Now, if you don't really know that it's a trick, then you might kind of still keep going for it. But sometimes you keep doing something, then you catch, nah, you ain't gonna get me with that no more. Once you catch on. Why would we keep on doing it? You know why? Because we have been tricked into thinking that it's really just all about us getting that money. It's about getting that money. Man, man, look, man, I gotta get this money. So I'm gonna make these songs. I'm gonna talk about these hoes. I gotta get this money. Money mean that much to you? Y'all drop your location, man. Where y'all at? Where y'all at? Drop y'all location. I can give y'all some shout outs. Three Ball says, and that's where that power in numbers comes in, because if we can even the odds, we can make true change and begin to not only have our own, but generate a revenue base that can create generational, I'm assuming generational wealth is what you're trying to say. Yeah, I mean, and it's not about even in the odds. It's just about doing us. We already outnumber them. If you just talk about what they term as being people of color, it's 11-1. We just got to do us. And just as Black people specifically, we coming up close to contributing close to $2 trillion annually to this economy. $2 trillion. That's just Black people. So it's not even something that we should be thinking about like we competing with them in some kind of way. We just sometimes that's another thing like, man, I ain't compete with nobody. I'm just doing me. And if you do you to the best of your ability to the fullest, you gonna max out. You ain't thinking about nobody else. No, I ain't worried about nobody. I'm just doing me. See, your work and our work will start to speak for itself. It ain't about keeping up with nobody. We see where y'all at, man. Y'all drop y'all locations for your big brother, man. Christopher Pilgrim up in this thing. South Bronx up in this thing, man. Big Ock, I see you. Memphis, Tennessee. Toledo, Ohio. Indiana. The 419. Southern Cali. Lynchburg, Virginia. That's why they don't like conscious rappers. Lupe spoke about how his label wanted him to dumb it down. Yeah. They always want to keep us dumb. Because if they keep the artist dumb, or if they cause the artist to dumb it down, then they'll keep the people dumb. Orange Mound, Memphis up in this thing, man. Columbus, Georgia. McAllen, Texas. Marty Marr in the hood. Only in the hood. Chi-Town. What's up, Brandon? Wisconsin. So never take being rejected or thrown away by the enemy as being a bad thing. Look at it as a blessing and an opportunity to build your own. Keandria, H-Town up in this thing. It's an opportunity to build our own. I don't like to see millionaires and billionaire Black people begging for anything. It's people who have nothing material-wise, but they have enough integrity that they like, I ain't gonna beg you for nothing. If you're gonna try to demean me or degrade me based on what you feel you can give me, and you want to see me bow down to get it. You want to see me on my knees to get it. I don't want it. Because at the end of the day, you don't have nothing if you don't have your integrity as a man or a woman. You don't have nothing. That's why you see a lot of Black people who do have money, but they don't have no integrity. They still lose out because as wealthy as they are, as rich as they are in some cases, they still have just punked out and given their whole soul up. So they on TV cheesing and shuffling around and skinning and grinning and dancing and all that stuff, man. Getting out of character and entertaining people. Just And you look up their net worth, they worth $200-300 million, $50 million, $80 million, $90 million, $20 million. You got me messed up. Soon as you give me a little of your money, I'm gonna work it not against you. I'm gonna work it for my people. Because again, it ain't even about them. The first level of power that we gain is the recognition of them and what they're doing to us. Then you go, oh, okay. Y'all had that. We out. We are out. So the good thing is when you can dump them before they dump you. Dump you. What about, nah, I'm not interested in that no more. We had plans, we had big plans. Yeah, I'm sure you did have big plans for me. But that's not what I want to do now. We're gonna go head on and I'm gonna do something different. We're gonna buy some land. We're gonna get some low income housing established. We're gonna eliminate some of these food deserts in the Black community. We're gonna start creating conflict resolution centers, which we already got that. Shout out to the Honorable 10,000 Fearless Nation of Islam and everybody who's fighting the fight to bring that unity to our community. But dump them before they do you. Don't take their money and then just start blowing it on jewelry. I'm still going in and out, y'all. Just bear with me. Hit the like button if you haven't already, man. We're going to see if we get the 100 likes real quick before I go. Before they run me off the block. If you haven't clicked like, click it right now. We're going to see if we can get to 100 in the next few minutes. If we can't, we can't. If we can, we can. We usually do. See if we can get to 100 likes. But we're going to use the little crumbs they give us while they still got some value. Like the Honorable Elijah Muhammad said, while they still got a little value, because you can still convert it into things that have perpetual value, like some land or something. See? Give me 8 more likes, y'all. Can we do it? See? What do these brands and companies and corporations who dump us and drop us, what do they represent? Some of these companies are the most racist, sexist, dirtiest, evilest, most mistreating of people. Workers not making no money, they paying workers crumbs. They got sweatshops in other nations. What do they represent? To have the so-called moral grounds to decide whether this person is disrespectful and inconsiderate to our culture and to our history, and we're just gonna dump them. What do they do? Slave labor is their representation. I see you, LW. Yeah, so the nerve of you. What is your history in terms of the slave trade? All these cats who run the world right now, they are heavily immersed in the slave trade and transatlantic slave trade, big time. So the nerve of you as a moral move, we think it's best to end our relationship with Kanye West, with entertainer. We cannot endorse or approve of this type of rhetoric. So we've ended our partnership. Man, shut up. Give me one more like, man. We sitting on that 99, y'all. If you haven't hit the like button, who's gonna be the 100 like? And I can let y'all ride. I get that last like. That 99 just dangling. It's picking at me. There you go. There you go. See? So getting dumped is a blessing. If you get dumped by somebody who's not worthy of you, don't stress about it. No need to be stressing. That dump is a blessing. Appreciate that, Dylan Cole. Washington State up in this thing. Hey, man, y'all have a great night, man. I tell y'all we're going to hold y'all on, man. Peace and love.